At first, I was questioning if I wanted to make this video, but then somebody told me he wanted this to come on YouTube. And I'm like, well, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Phoenix Breton here, and welcome to the first game reviewed of, the season. And this is for, obviously, my favorite high school team and my high school team in the Pirates taking on the Pirates, which is stupid, but whatever. But before we get in today's video, like and subscribe. We're on the road to getting to 700 subscribers. But anyway, enough said. Let's get into the video. And let me just say this real quickly. I am going to try to be as positive as possible because I'm not going to lie. This is a game where I don't think any team deserved to win. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a game where I think, honestly, you could have gave them both a loss, and I think both, and I wouldn't say that was completely wrong. Because, oh man, that was an ugly game to watch. I'm going to be honest. Was it a close game? Yes. But there were so many penalties during this game. I think there was a combination of 13, 14 penalties, something around that range. And that was just atrocious. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was pretty much atrocious. And this is where, the part where I start to just say, what was this? This was just... ugh. And now, after watching this game, in terms of my team, Pirates, so I'm going to say M Pirates, and then I'm going to say just the Pirates, I guess. I will be honest, this game just got me nothing but concerned. It doesn't help that one of our players, arguably the best player in that game, number 2, yes, I'll go off jersey numbers, was the only guy who really did a lot of things on offense, and then he ended up getting injured during the end of the game. So that didn't help during the game. That affected me and things a lot harder. It actually potentially ruins the chance that we're going to do anything long term. I'm going to be dead honest with that. But now, I just want to look on the positive side of things because there's very few things that I can take in that was honestly positive. For example, the defense. The defense did really good. I think it did well enough, honestly, to win a game. And that's the problem. Our defense did way too much than it should to win a game. Honestly, I accept games where you're below about 20 points. If you are below 20 points, that is very acceptable and very winnable games. But that's just not what happened. It's simple as that. That's just not what happened. Sorry about the camera thing because of my little doog here. But anyway, the defense did very well, only allowing 1 touchdown. And I would say another thing that I guess we did well was we blocked a kick, I think. There is not much positives to this game. I literally mean that. Literally. And I guess we did score a touchdown during the end. It didn't really count to anything afterwards, but at least we scored a touchdown during the end of the game. I guess. Now you're like, wait, isn't it because you got blown out? No, it wasn't because we got blown out. The score was 14-13 for a sec. Think about that for a minute. Do you want to watch a game where a score is 14-13, even though the game, in terms of its period, is only 48 minutes long? Nobody. I don't think anybody does. Maybe around 20 points or something. Definitely not 14, 13. And just for like a little bit of an insight, by the way, if you combined all three league teams' points, so I mean by varsity, JV2, JV1, which I'm not going to make videos for JV2 or JV1. I'll do solely varsity this year. We put up 20 points. Just an insight. 20 points. And then you look at JV2 for Pirates. They put up 33. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. This is, and I'm going to be honest, in terms of just every league in general, the offense was atrocious. That's all I have to say. The fact that every single one put up 20 points is all I have to say. Because it shouldn't take you 3 teams to put up a manageable for one game. It just shouldn't. Our offense, I mean, I will be honest though, for one thing though. Our offense wasn't completely terrible. Like, for example, they scored 2 touchdowns, which is what the other Pirate team did not do. And, you know, that's kind of decent. Just the problem is we needed to score another touchdown during the second and third quarter. But now I have to say the biggest issue. It's the special teams. And there's one other issue that I'll talk about a little bit later, but the special teams was atrocious. It was like, it felt like I felt like these suckers were like 8th graders versus varsity. That's what it felt like when the special teams were on the field. Not only that there were a blocked punt, a bad snapped punt, not once, but twice. But when we could have tied the game, we missed the extra point. The special teams was atrocious all game long. This is just terrible. Just terrible. There's nothing I can say. I don't even think words, honestly, could describe how bad our special teams were during that game. Period. Special teams, you have to do better. And personally, as kind of an inner coach in me, one, I am focusing on that during most of practice because that was kind of the big part of why you lost the game, which I'll talk about the other problem later. And 2, I am making them run a lot because of how that should have been your game the entire time, and you just decide to not and hit the bag. And now here comes the second issue, which you could honestly change this to the first issue. The blocking. Oh my goodness gracious Lord. The blocking was atrocious. You can blame the quarterback for some of the missed throws during the game. But personally, I can't blame him when he is only having 1 second in the pocket to throw the ball. I wish I was joking, but I think 40-50% of the time, somebody's already in his face if you're counting 2 seconds later. That is not acceptable. Period. And that is only including pass plays. The run, we do not do a bad job at. That is the one thing I will admit that we did not do a terrible job with. But the pass was terrible. It was just terrible. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is the definition of our passing offense. It was either we're getting 7 yards or more, or we are getting sacked. There was no in between. Outside of maybe an incompletion, which I'll talk about that a little bit later. But seriously, this was just terrible to watch. Seeing pressure. Heck, even the big play that we somehow made, he had pressure coming out of his face like it's nothing. It's just not acceptable. Period. And I solely blame the offensive line for this. Solely. You have to block better. I'm going to be honest. Because I'm pretty sure he got sacked 4 to 5 times during that game. That is not acceptable. And finally, we have the last thing to talk about. It was the quarterback play. And I'm going to just have a little brief mention of the one other thing, too. It was clock management. Clock management was not very good at all. And why are we using timeouts during the first and third quarter? Solely honest. But now, quarterback play. So remember the time when I said 4 or 5 sacks that was allowed? That wasn't solely the offensive line's fault. It was kind of the quarterback's fault. So one other thing, and I guess it was a small thing I forgot to mention, which I guess fits in here kind of well, honestly, was the turnovers. Because I'm pretty sure we made 2 or 3 turnovers during this game. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Because when we play the Hawks, which is easily one of the best teams in this conference, or I should mean division, we are going to get our butts whooped if we commit 3 turnovers like we did this time. Now, listen, I understand our starting quarterback is out for the year, but, like, you're a junior. That's, like, the next best thing. And how does a sophomore with only a couple plays look infinitely times better than what number 3 did? I'm speechless to that. That is not acceptable. Period. Because there were multiple plays that were either just a tad bit a missed throw or a terrible read, or you should have threw the ball away instead of took a sack. This was the 3 of the biggest issues during your game. Period. And that is all I'm going to have to say. Now, I'm leaving this at the end, and I might even put this in the comments as well. This is criticism. This isn't... Hell, you could honestly not take this at all, and you could help. And I bet you there might not be a lot of high school players that are even going to watch this video, and you're going to be like, wait, weren't you the guy who quit? If you put that excuse in front of my face, I mean, it can be somewhat valid, but it still doesn't give the excuse of how bad you guys played. Eesh. Because imagine blaming that I wasn't on the field, or I'm smack talking about how bad you guys play. That isn't just, oh. It doesn't help the fact. Actually, matter of fact, it actually hurts the factor that you guys lost, which was a much easy winnable game, in my opinion, during the entire thing. I'm just saying. That is all I have to say. Don't take this heartily. Take it as a piece of criticism to work better. Because for the love of God, if we play like this against the Hawks, which is a home game, we're going to look at an 0-2 start, and it's not going to look pretty. And I will be honest with this, I'll be very questionable to see if we're going to make it in the playoffs this year. If we get destroyed by the Hawks, which was the next team running to winning the conference. Or I mean the division. I always get those two confused because, you know, like conference is like division, and then division is like conference in football terms. So they're flipped. But all I have to say is coach better, the offensive line needs to be better, and make better QB reads. And also fix the special teams. Because I'm not going to lie, the best game, this is the best way I could describe this game almost. It is the Packers and Niners game back in the NFC divisional round. I think around like 2021, 2022, right? Somewhere around there. That is the best way I can describe this game. I don't know why, because there was also a block punt. And they lost the game because of the special teams. And funny enough, that happened in the exact same state. How ironic. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, when I'm making this video, I'm pretty sure I have a double upload planned, but peace.